Hello everyone, and welcome once again. This is the Alteryx tutorials. I am Mark Thompson with Watermark Data. Today's session is going to be weekly challenge number 142, and we have some tax information and we have some people. And what we've got are two different data sets where it's an employee number and company A, B, C, etc. And we've got a tax table that shows whether you're filing individually or jointly and what your rate is dependent on what the value is. And we want to combine that and find out the different things and effectively turn it into this, which is how many people are in which rate count. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. As I said, we start out here and we've got this grid and it's got an employee number, and these are all of the people that are at company A, B, C, etc., right on through company Z. And as this challenge says, well, there's an easy path. You can solve it or you can do it the hard way. And I did it the hard way. And it says you can't use a join, a crosstab, a transpose, a multi-field formula, or a multi-row formula. So how are you going to match these up? How are you going to match these pieces of data with this tax table that says, here's the value, whether it's filing individually or jointly, and finding out what their rate is? Well, let's begin with the idea that we want to identify, and here's the amount, and we've got to separate the two. We've got to separate, in this case, the 514418 from the IJ, IJ, IJ. The I and the J indicate whether it is individual or jointly. Well, without using that, you can pull in a tool that is probably a little bit more obscure than you're used to using. It's called the Arrange tool. You can find this on the Transform menu. And what we're going to do here, and I already did this, was I added a column, and you can see which company, and then underneath it you could pick. So here, I added 26 rows. Your output from that Arrange tool and putting all 26 of these columns into one single column is it takes all the data from A and B and C and effectively stacks it on top of each other. So it's now taking and going, here's a column on top of a column on top of a column on top of a column. And what we get is this column here of which company and 2,600 records. Next, we want to take and break out the which company into its salary portion and its single character tax status. Individual, jointly, 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 individual, individual, etc. And that's easy enough to do. We do our regex and we do just a real simple 2-column. Give me as many or more D's and then give me one lowercase character as a separate one. And we call that salary, and we call that tax stat. Next, because we're here, we really don't need the which company anymore. You guys know me, I get rid of that stuff. I don't want it. Next, down here, we've got our different tax rates and name and value. All I'm interested in is filing /space and then just a single lower character. So all of these, if you, filing in a space is all, it conforms. It's all the same in every one of these. And then we take and we isolate, and we call that tax status. So it's I or J, depending. Here are the values. Here are the tax status. Again, let's do some cleanup. And in this case, really just turning the rate into a fixed decimal with 2 characters. Next, we're going to append these 2 values. Well, I should say over here, we've got this. We throw on a record ID 1 through 2600 on these, and now we're going to append them. So we're going to append every single one of these 2600 records with all 14 of these records. So the 14 times the 2600, and what you're going to come out with is 36,400 records. Right? 36,400. The next thing we want to do after we bring these 2 together and append, we obviously are overkill. We're overmatching. That's what the append is doing. It's taking every record and matching it to every record. Okay? After that, we're going to take and we're going to filter out. And we're going to filter out anything where the tax stat does not equal the tax status. So tax stat from here, I or J, and the tax status from this lower one, right? We got the tax status coming in from the tax table. And after filtering it, we're doing that, and where the salary is less than the value. So every instance where it's an I or J, so we match up the I or J correctly, and then where the salary is less than the tax table value. And when we do that, we're left with now 7,600 records. Now, because the values are in ascending order, when we take a look at our records over here, I'm going to pull this up just a little bit. You can see that we've got duplicates of 3, of 4, of 5. Some we're going to have duplicates, some we won't, some will have more than duplicates, right? So we've got 4 of them. But here, since they're going up in order, all of these qualify, right? They are less than the tax status. What is the first one? What is the first one? And that's the lowest level that we want to use, which gives us our next tool that says, hey, in each one of these, take the lowest status. Take the first, really. Take the first record by record ID. Take the first sample type, n rows, 1 row, and by record ID. And now we're back to our 2,600 records that we had when we popped out of here. And now all we have to do is summarize. Now it's easy. Count, we group by the rates, and then we count how many by rate, and boom, we're done. We're there. All right, I am Mark Thompson. This is Watermark Data. These are the Alteryx tutorials. Please hit like, please hit share, and of course, we always welcome your comments and love to hear what you have to say. Till next time.